Alexa, play traditional Chinese music, please.
Playing traditional Chinese music, Amazon Music.
Oh, hello, got some people in. Oh, why do they keep changing this? Right, it's annoying me now. It really is annoying me. I don't get it. Right, you. Hi, Helen. Hi, Emma. Hi, Audrey. Hi, Jenny. Hello, Philippa. Hello, Asa. I'm so sorry. I always really get nervous about names if I'm not pronouncing them. Hi, Thelma. Hi, Michael. Hi, Kath. Oh, good afternoon, Lou. Hi, Sylvia. Susan. Oh, some great people to see. Sorry, these are some sneaky peeks. So I stitched this one. A few golden threads, and I stamped it onto fabric. So I can't wait to show you how easy it is to. And that's one of the new ones as well. I'm really in love with them. And just a quick. How cool is that? This is based on the Hi Liz. Hi Louise. This is based on some windows that from the monastery. So I did some, and this is blown up really big to cover my journal, which is brilliant. I love it. I really love it. It's got bits that aren't great, bits that are good, but it's got the pocket in. But also, wait till you see it. I don't like that one, but I'll have to finish it. I wanted stuff to go in it, so I'm going to keep the stencils. I'm going to show you stencils, but I'm not going to show you stamps just yet. This is some more. This is the true size, so I'm just doing this in different stitching. I'm not a lover of that one because I've not finished it, but I do like that one. But here's the stencils that fit in here. They sort of go, can you see holes? So there's the one of the window. So that's, and then just simple ones. So try these. Oh wait, these are the triangles. Then you've got to have circles, haven't you? And then I've got some spirals that are similar to shells or stuff. But I quite like the spirals. I had to put something else in there, so that's hence that. Then we've got some of these. I'm not showing you everything, which is the pattern drawing I've been doing, and then some of the stamps fit in with this one. But all these fit in your journal, so they fit in there like that. So instant. You can keep them with you. I just wanted to show you what I was doing because people are sort of still asking me what I'm up to and what I'm doing, and this is just practicing colouring. And again, these are the feathers and the dies. I've not finished them. Have I done anything in here? I thought I'd done more than that. I've done tons. Where are they? Oh right. Then yeah. So these are the pencils. So anyway, I'm not in love with this one. I've not finished it yet. It's overpowering in parts, so I know what I need to do. And that is to just focus and just work on this. So I'm going to work in my journal, which is a nice shape size. I'm going to take it out. I really, really do need this. It's been a while, and I really feel bad that I've not been able to do it, but such as it's been with all the changes and whatnots and doodads, you never know what you've got to do. Thank you, Sue. Oh, it is very windy here. Very, very windy here, rainy. It's just awful, you know. And I got soaked yesterday, and it was so awful because I went to the match and I thought it'd be alright with a poncho, you know, one of them like really sad ones that you'd never want anyone to see you wearing. Not that there's out wrong with it, it's just you can't see out of it, you know. I think they're dangerous. The amount of times I could have walked out in front of a car because I couldn't see round my hood. It was horrible. Anyway, yeah, so I got soaked, so I ended up being like a wrinkly prune. If, Sylvia, if it keeps breaking, what an idea is to go out and come back in. Sometimes that helps. Okay, so I'm presuming it's about 8 by 8, this piece of paper. You're quite high up, I know, but I wanted you to see it all. I was even thinking of I've got a piece of card here that I did. Do you remember I did that with the oxides? It's really quite nice. I'm going to do some black oxide stuff with mine as well. So, oh, no way. Hi, Jane. Hi, Debbie. Yeah. What I found in my handbag. Why do I find crap like this in my handbag? Anyway, that was a quick one I did, and I really like that with the oxide, so I think I'm going to show you some of those tricks. Oh, brilliant. Good to hear that, Carol. Hello, Denise. I've missed you as well. I really have missed you. Now, I'm not going to do a Moodle out of my book, but simply because it's not fair for people who haven't got a Moodle or the stamps or whatever, you know what I mean. So rather than mess about with that, got no end in it. Oh, I have. I'm just going to go for a drawing. Right, I need to calm down first. So sometimes, yep, that's a good one, having it on a delay, and then it has time to catch up. I've settled down now with a lot of things, and what I'm going to do is even if I can't do a live, do 1 or 2 a week, but I'm hoping to get through more onto my face. I know I keep saying this, but it's just been every time I try and do it, something comes along and bursts my bubble. So, you know, I like the ones I did when I was just drawing as well, so they were really popular. So I'm going to go with my compass, because I like circles. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw one, two, 3 slightly different sizes. I'll try and keep them on the paper, but it doesn't really matter if it doesn't. Okay, just 3 like that. And if I'm going to do 5, I might do 5 up here. But first of all, I'm just going to think, hi Kim. Right, I'm just going to think about how I feel. Oh my God, the rain stopped. It's really important to really get in the mood now. For those of you that don't know me, you may find this a bit weird, but I'm now wiggling my toes in the carpet. Really grounding myself. I know it's a lot of hocus pocus for some people, that's fair enough, but it's just so I'm grounded here, because otherwise my main focus, which is here, will go away. And I'll just keep thinking of other things. So, I wiggle my toes, listen to the music, and I'm just grounding myself. So a lot of people have turned off because of that, but that's up to them, isn't it? Up to them. So I'm just going to be sitting here for a little minute. So, as you know, really, it's really important to be in tune and to sort of, although control it, don't try and be in control too much, because you'll overdo it. So, you know, I've got like, you know, I've got all these templates and spaces and shapes and stuff, and some of these are fantastic. These are, you know, for clothes makings and stuff. Clothes makings sounded like very strange then. And I'm going to use you know, some decent pencils. I'm going to keep it sharp. I would recommend getting yourself a good pencil sharpener. Sounds stupid and so ridiculous to say, but the amount of difference that you get. I'm using a rubber. This is a dust-free one, although it isn't dust-free. Oh, well, there you go. It's a shame we can't listen to Martin. That'd be perfect, because it's his music. It's amazing. So, I've got the relationship between these circles. Thank you, Dawn. I'm hoping you're alright. So I'm looking at these shapes. I just love. Now you don't need to have one of these, but I love the way these, like, it's almost like the sacred geometry and that allow you to. So I'm just going to, can you see how I've just took that there? Now that could be a big plate. So let's do it freehand here. Okay. So I've just gone down that way. Now here, right, so what we've got is sort of shape, but it's quite, there we go. I might change this as we go. So we've got this nice double circle, well, treble circle, sorry, just, and I just feel that that's, the placement's not quite right there. So I'm just going to draw. There we go. Draw it right through, and then you've got more continuity, so you can get rid of under, over, under sort of things like that. Quite like the idea of that. Okay. Right. So we've got a pattern like that. Hi Jan, hope you're alright. So now I'm gonna think of like things that really inspire me. Different shapes and patterns. So the next thing is I'm looking at hello. Goodness me. Louise, hey. Looks like blue in Xbox now, doesn't it? So I'm just pulling in some shapes now. I don't want it to look like a beach ball, but I'm hoping that I can. That's better. Can you see how I'm making that connection now? So I might rub that one out there. But I've got these patterns anyway. I think it's just a lot of connections really about how it's quite strange really how subconsciously I'm not even thinking about all the changes and the merges and all that. I'm just thinking about the people. I just want everyone to have a job. And this is coming out in this. Hello, my love. From one Lou to another. Lewis is an amazing floor manager. He's just so good at his job. He's just one of these people, right, who he works at a Chandler or the craft store or the new Crate and Craft, whatever you want to call it, and he's really responsible in the fact that a job needs doing. He doesn't ask. He doesn't wait to be told. He goes and does it. So one day I go backstage and everything's dead tidy. You knew where it was, and it was brilliant. And he'd had he was put in charge of that, and he didn't have to do it. He just did it, and it was an amazing thing because it's something that we used to do in hairdressing. You put all the rollers back in the right baskets because then you know where to find them and stuff. So Lewis did that off his own bat, and it was great, and it sort of made you want to go and do the same. As you wanted to go and put it back in a good place, in the right place, so that people could find it. And sometimes, oh, he's great, yeah, Emma, he is. He's got a good. Him and Ben have got right good chuckles. Right, so we've got this like strange shape. It is quite strange. So we've got this sphere here, and here, and these shapes that have started to sort of come off this main shape now and giving me lots of ideas. And it's about all these connections and out. Yeah, I really like this. So I'm just going to rub out some little lines. So it doesn't, obviously, I don't want you to think that your work has to look like mine. It doesn't in any way, shape or form. I just want you to sit and just have 5 minutes for yourself. Whether it be doodling, moodling, whether it'll be knitting, stitching, whatever you want, just take that time for yourself. Because we don't. I mean, I've got all my washing to do, or my kitchen to do, but it'll still be there when I finish this. So, well, if you're an OCD cleaner, it really works. It really works. So I've got these patterns emerging now. And if I was to get rid of that bit there, would have a different. It's just start with a shape that you're comfortable with, and then work from there. There's no point in, there's no point in just settling for something. Just let it go. Let it go. I think there could be a song there. I quite like the idea of, and if you notice when I'm drawing, as I said, writing, yeah, we write like that, or whichever way you do. We draw like that, and shade like that. So when I want to get a curve that I'm not controlling, hi Claire. I met Claire in Sainsbury's, she's lovely. So I'm putting another line in. Can you see how far away I am? Because I've grounded with my rings. And it's a smoother line. Much smoother line. Now put them in, take them away later. Okay? But I like this shape of shape within shapes. Okay, feel really happy with this. We need to look at some patterns now and base this on colour. It's a very strange one, this, isn't it? But I think what I tend to do is, these are all like all converging at the same points, and we're all like, it's like pulling them, pushing. And I quite like the idea of just Right, why am I doing that? Because I'm a great believer there's like lots of things that separate us. You know, rather than them being a negative force, we bring them into being a positive force. So we'll have these like sections but that really could get in the way, but we don't let them, we embrace them. And I think that's very poignant for now, because at the moment, pull push, the poor people, you know, me included, I'm not saying I'm a poor person, but the people who we're waiting now to find out whether we've got jobs or not and where we'll be in the scheme of things, and it's pretty scary. So I've just got a pen now, it's an O2, I don't know if it's working right, and I'm just going to put in some of the main drawing lines. Now I'm putting these in first because there we go. So I'll put that main rift. Joe, you're never late to the party. Yes, well this is it. This is it. Use this as your break. It's really important that you do that. So now I'm just going to put in some more lines. Now this is a 02 and it's a very fine one. But this time I'm not going to go sort of like, I'm going to go under and over, so to speak. So I've not gone over that. What I'm going to do is just show you what I mean. I'll rub out the extra lines. I normally do that later. There we go. And you can see small lines then. So we've drawn that one there. I'm going to put this one in as well. Right, see how different it started to look already. We just started with the circles. It doesn't mean that's where it ends though. It's just the beginning. So we've got this nice space to draw things and colour. Oh, it's ages. I feel like I'm out of practice. Blooming heck. Right, okay, so I want to keep some of my circles, but I'm not worried about the shape because, as you know, you draw one and draw another over it. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. So now I've got that circle and the shape, but two circles. Tell you what, it frees you up no end when you're not worried about, you know, a circle looking like a circle or a shape looking like a shape. It's just a shape. And you know, like these circles here, they don't need to be perfectly spherical because I just want them to look like shapes. I don't want them to be proper. I just want them to look like circles, and double lines always flatter it. They get rid of all extra worry about trying to make something circular. So I've got these wonderful shapes happening now, and I look at this and I think it's time to sort of marry some of them up. So the first thing I'm going to do is in some of the little double lines. Hi Susan. All right. I remember when it was the first thing I used to do in the morning, Emma, put my makeup on. Oh, I can't be bothered now. You've got to sometimes make yourself put time aside to do it. So I'm just putting in circles and lines just to fill them. So I'll just show you a little bit closer. Can you see? So all these like little extra, see, especially when you get stuff like that, just fill it in and nobody knows that you've made a codswallop there. Oh, so needed this. So I've got some nice patterning happening. And this we could do in, you know, colour would be great, wouldn't it? So the next thing is just going to go around putting my circles in, different sizes. And it's almost like when we were kids and we used to go, right, we're drawing that and that can't touch that shape, or that colour can't touch that colour. You've got to do it so that it sort of repeats, but not like quite uniform. So all I'm doing is lines and dots. Now if you've got a fat pen or a fatter pen, do your dots with the edge of it like a felt or something, and that way you can get a line or a colour or a dot just simply by doing one movement with your hand, just straight down. So here I'm just putting lines in, and I'm using a number 2 so that I can. What I did with that other one is that I went too far too soon and it didn't look right. So there we go. So you like the shape of the patterns now. It's very organic, this. So we've done basically the sort of lines that intersect apart from here, and all I'm going to do in these is just put some dots because they're only little. If you do have some very small sort of ones, just dot your pen in like that. Okay, so quite like that. So I'm just going to do you don't have to go straight in with your pen at all. So just doing that there, and then see, I'm using my pen straight up because I've worn the nib down, and because I've worn the nib down it's sort of flattish, so I'm having to use it upright. So there we go, I've done a double line in there. Oh, thank you. Yes, well, I've been very lackadaisical because I've allowed myself to get caught up doing too much. It's not been good for me, and it's not, I'm sure it's not been good for others. So, you know, all the like collections are coming out. I've got another one next Friday and I love it, but I needed this because I was getting to the point where I was getting fed up with it, really fed up. So all I've done is a double line and then some into hi Yvonne, some little block things, nothing too. Now I'm not going to do that, but what I will do is leave that for a minute and then I'll do something else. So in this gap, I'm just putting like teeth. There we go. So I've just put some different patterns in there that will work between the other designs I've got, but I just wanted to get some pattern on. So I'm quite happy with that, even though it looks like a mouth at the moment. So I'm happy with that, and build up colour and stuff on that. So I need to look at other pattern in now. And I'm just going to put a dotted line through these, and the only reason I'm doing that is so I've got a central point. There we go. Just put some little circles. I wanted it to look more like upholstery. That's nice, that. So I've got that there, I've got that there. Yes, neurographic art. Yeah, it's very similar to this actually, in the fact that, you know, the way that the shapes arise and the thought process of allowing the shapes to sort of emerge. So I've got that shape there. I'm looking for some of my other ones now. I need a bit of inspiration from some of my others. So I'm going to, I think the easiest way is just to look at the pattern. One of the things that I do like to do is differentiate blends. So we've got this differing line along the top, and all I'm going to do is just now and again add to the smaller ones some different, just to give it no, it doesn't have to be every single one. But when there's a bigger gap, it makes sense you put more dots, and it's just to give that some space. So from the other side now, you can place some dots coming down this way. Like that. So we've got some nice beaded. Hi Jane. Hi Glynis. Hi Caroline. Pen marker. Right. I really like this. It's so needed this, it's untrue. What I'm going to do now is, I did this years ago, this one. Dotted lines, and it's going to resemble that in a different, similar way. That sounds daft, I know. So if I can find my little doofer, there's a doofer. If you want to know where I've got all these from, if you go on the storefront, they're all there. I'm just going to add in between these a circle. There we go. And then again here, I did this about 2 years ago on a live, and then I used these for some of my stamps. I just think it's a really lovely shape. So I think my second set of stamps have these on, and they're really just lovely to use. So what it is you put your lines and your dashes, and you can sort of change them to accordingly. Hello, Andrew. Doing all right today, Andrew. Still prepping. So I've got that build up there. I want to bring it across a little bit, so I'm just going to put 3 here. I'm going to be quite small, these ones, because I don't want them to overpower it. So it's such a simple shape, this. I've been doing it for a while now, but it just putting some circles on the bottom just to make it look a bit strange, you know, but I just wanted to put some circles there. So what I've got to do is a circle, just pick one circle, and you draw in half of it, or well, 2/3 or 1/3 or whichever, and it could be any shape, this, but you just want it to go to the line. And then this sort of is reminiscent of that shape, but also these shapes as well, and it's quite a nice patterning. So I only want it, really, I'll change it slightly here, I only want it to go to there, quite, so it fits in. I could put a little line there, which might be nice, but I've got a smaller version. Yeah, that's better. And all I'm doing is I'm using my circle doofer, making little lines, circles, shapes. There we go. Yes, I'm going Harrogate. I'm also, yeah, very, very over the moon that so many of you want to join me in London. How cool is that? I can't wait. I've never been. Could probably tell you about the building and blah blah blah, but I've never been to the V&A, so that's one of my dreams for my birthday. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So I've continued that line. I still think it needs to be brought across here. There we go. So the cohesiveness is shape. Going to leave that one, and I might put some little there we go, to just bring the lines in together a little bit more. They're not much sort of, not much about them really, just doing the lines. Right, I'm happy with that. I'm just looking at some other shapes now, I'm thinking, right, well, I'm going to go in with pattern now, and I think I'll do it rest with colour. Don't forget Liz is on after me at 1 o'clock with her journal Make It. So yeah, I just put mine on when it comes up with schedule, it just automatically goes to 12. Well, but I can't remember how long I've been doing it, a few years now at 12. So I didn't realise, but she kindly moved hers over, which is good of her, to 1 o'clock. Well, she didn't have to, because you could have watched mine later. So there. Some little tiny dots just to break that up. So we've got that continuity. You know, some of them you can make. That's it. Can you see now? Very simple. Yeah, I'm saving up, Dawn. I've never had anything for my 50th or out like that, so cheap and cheerful. I'm going to go find a really good place to stay. I've asked a few people where to stay. They've given me some ideas, so jobs are good in. I'm going to go back to my pencil in just this one here, okay? Because I'm just going to draw a line. It's not dead centre there, but it doesn't matter. And then I'm just going to do that. Now, I'm not keeping the lines like this. But what I am going to do, because this is part of my doodle and stuff that I've done before, is I'm just going to put like a little curve on it. There we go. So I think what I'll do here is a little bit there. Just, I know I said I was going to leave that, but I can't like that. So I'm going to get rid of this. Any extra lines I don't want. Any bits and bobs that aren't right. And I'm just going to put in little dots so it looks more like. Right, okay, shall we do some colour? Do you fancy some colour or not? I think I'd like some words on this. Now, the wonderful Terry Doodash has got a wonderful sort of her own. She's got a wonderful sort of structure and alphabet, and I'm going to take that from her. So okay, so what it is, I hope you shouldn't mind showing that it's not exactly the same. So where there is a vowel, she makes a mark or a mark or a pattern underneath it. So I'll do it again. This is one of my favourite sayings. I just think at the present it's just means so much. To plant a tree is to believe in tomorrow. I don't know if I've got the terminology right, but so to plant a tree is to believe in tomorrow. I'd love Terry for you to go and have a look at Terry's work. I'm incredibly lucky that I'm surrounded by talented people. So I think I got a positive on the colour there, did I? Okay, I'm going to be doing a live colour later, a TikTok, whatever it is. TikTok. Right, come on with us. Where have you put them? Come, oh here they are. Come on. Right, we was having a laugh the other day because Jane and I and a few others were at the monastery, which is where it's where this design for my new sketchbook is from. And I went to the pencils, I got the pencils, I put them out, and Jane went, oh, Philippa would have a fit. I said, I know, she'd lose it, wouldn't she? And Philippa takes one out at once, and I just grab bloody loads, so she'd be like having kittens now, because they're all out of sync, look. Oh, Philippa. Oh, Philippa. She's like, I can feel her now groaning. Look, they're all out of colour. Right, okay, let's do a little bit of colour, shall we? I'm gonna do some simple colouring now. So I'm gonna go. Let's go for turquoises. So they are harder like this, I must admit. You know, I do need to sort of put them all back in, but I dropped them all before, so I couldn't be bothered. I'm just like, oh gosh, can you really be bothered? No, the answer was no, I couldn't. So bear with me while I pull out all the ones I want. Right, okay, so I'm looking at these colours, alright? So the first thing I'm going to do is, do we do the background or the foreground? So I think personally, I'm just going to do a little bit. So I'm taking, and this is number 151, and I'm just going to go over. I'm wondering whether to take you. I hope that's not out of vision, is it? If it's out of vision, please let me know. I did focus it before. So I'm not going straight in dead dark. What I'm doing is a couple of layers. So I'm going round. It's a bit like, you know, when you're emulsioning and you do your skirting boards and your doors. You do your glossing first, what we do. It's a bit like that. You go around all the main focal points or where you want to, so that when you're doing your shading, you don't have to stop. That's the shower you can hear, I think. So you can see that a little bit better. Went a little bit thick there. So use your pencil. If you can't get it exactly around your shape, then you really just use your pencil as the marker. Now I would always suggest getting the right sharpener as well. Keep your pencils sharp. Just a lot easier. So now I know these are slightly out, but it doesn't matter to me because the black line is covered, if that makes sense. I did some painting on some pendants. I went to Lidl the other day and they had a kit in Lidl. Where's the kit gone? I'll show it. Oh, here it is. For £1, and you got these. So you get You got the pendant thing, you got the gold, you get the wooden dowel, and all this felt, and it was £1. So I've made pendants with my new stamps, and they look so cool, they really do. So I stamped them lightly, painted them. Oh, so easy to stamp. I know they're massive, but oh my word, I can't tell you how easy they are to stamp. Seriously easy. Easier than with a platform. I know that sounds daft considering they're like 9 inches big or whatever. Right, so I'm going to move them over so you've got a bit more of a... There we go. Yeah, you're not out of focus. So now what I'm going to do is very lightly take the edge of my pencil away. I'm moving away from the edge of my pencil, and I'm just going to go really lightly. Concentrating at the edges. So lift your pencil off. If you're unsure about the depth or your pressure, then do it on another page. So the nearer you end the end of your pencil, the more detail you'll get. Now I don't know if you caught that because I do it naturally now, but if you just watch my hand you'll see what is happening. So shading lightly. All over. Okay. Now, so I've moved up, I did it without thinking, so I was shading like that. So moving up a little bit now, my pencil's going more upright. And I've just put a little bit more pressure there. Moving my pencil again. So each time I want more depth, I move along the pencil. So I'll do it here again, and again I want it here. So just around that, move down, more layer. There we go. It might be a little bit hard for you to see, but you get a really nice blend. So start off really light. And you can just go all over with this bit, and as you get more sort of familiar with your pencils and the weight, as I get nearer the end of my pencil, I tend to lift the pressure off straight away and do feathering. So again. Right, so now we've got this really nice, smooth. So if you go out and come back in, oh, you're welcome. And as I said, you can always put a little bit more on. And just alter the pressure that you're applying on it. just going to rub it in slightly now because I want a nice soft blend. So you can see it's really gentle. I think it's a little bit still too heavy. But what I do then is I look for the next colour up, or maybe a slight difference away. But I've got to be careful I don't pick up a purple. That'll be okay. And then this helps me to get rid of any lines that I don't want. I'm quite heavy-handed with pencils, so I tend to get more of a blend than I want sometimes, but having a different colour, a lighter colour. Quite relaxed now. I go lighter, even lighter. I like it in here. God, that's nice. I won't do it all like this, just so what I'm doing is I'm going quite heavy around the circle and gradually pulling away. Oh, you better focus that. Pulling away there so that it's a transitional colour between the two, not just like a really solid line. Gives it like a little halo. So I'll transfer to the lighter pencil. And the transition between colours are not obvious, which is really nice. I think sometimes you have to sort of really observe how you hold your pencil or your pen. I just see, is there a way that I use, you know, and it's really come to me just recently practicing colour, that I'm using it in a certain way, and I'm moving down the shaft of the pencil to help with the pressure. So yeah, I really advise that if you've got a minute, try different, you know, on your pencil itself, using it in a different way. I'm going to go for a really dark colour now, so an indigo maybe. Oh, look at the state of that. See, that's well loved. Look at that one. So on this Faber-Castell one, there's a colour and a normal. I am just going to go to the inside of this. So you can use black if you wish. I tend to sort of, if we do use black, it's right at the end. So I'm sort of reaffirming the darkest line, but not sort of fading it out in any way, just going over the actual line of it with the dark. It just darkens it. See here, it needs to be a bit darker because it's smaller, so, and this side down here is light darker than this side over here, so to make that quite obvious now. You can see the colour hopefully now as it goes through. Yeah, paint it, absolutely. If you're not comfortable doing it as heavy-handed as I am at the moment, don't worry, find your own way. Like Jane's going to paint hers, that's cool, it's your work, you do it, and you'll have some muscle memory that will allow you to just do that in quite a flow. So I'm just going to put these back. Oh, crash band wallet. I will sort them out later. Right, okay. So now I'm going to put some oranges in here because oranges, they just look so cool. So I'm going to do a light, medium, dark. So maybe like that. So I'm going to go light overall. I'm conscious that Lizzie's going to start in a minute, so I'm only just going to finish this little bit and we'll go. So next one, lightest. Yeah, we'll go for the next one. Not to the top, because the top is just the first colour. Right, so then we go next. You can see hopefully. And then we go to the, I've picked quite a red there, so I might drop down to one in between because it was a bit of a so then what you do, the important bit, which you shouldn't forget, is you go backwards again, right? So we go backwards through our colours. Very lightly. Don't even think you're doing it. It's just a fluff. You're just fluffing it up. You want to keep it orange, but you want the depth. So we've kept the orange, but we're not See, can you see the light to dark? We've kept the orange. So it's, you know, it's very soft. If you want to, and you've got a tortillon or a paper stump, whichever you prefer to call them, you could do a bit of shading. So there's nothing on this, by the way. So I'm just going to start on the light, because it's got such a texture to this paper that this is a way of burnishing it and getting rid of the texture of the paper. I'll do these two and you can see those two then. Can you see the difference? Maybe not. So start on the light and then bring it down to the dark. There we go. So we've got a nice light to dark. If you want to take it further, you can just really press harder there, just at the very bottom. Like that. And then, strange thing about it is you go to the indigo and you just put a touch of indigo there and it darkens the red even more. So there we go. Can you see? Got that nice transition now on quite rough paper. We could do the same with him. I'll just show you what it looks like. Now bear in mind that's got orange on it, so there might be a reason it might go funny if you don't clean it off. So clean off the residue of the orange, and then I'll just do a little bit of blue to show you. Can you see the difference? So again, put the emphasis around the circles first, spiraling out so that there's depth there. And you can see now they really show up, and then lightly you're pushing the fibres down in the paper. Bringing the colours together. So you're pushing the fibres down, you're getting rid of the white tooth on the paper. You can use coconut oil, is brilliant for this. There we go. So we've got a really pretty transition through to colour, light to dark, dark to light, and you can keep going, you know. I'll just show you one little bit here. This is Payne's Grey, that. So I've made it really dark now. So just use your pencils properly. Think about blending them. If you blend over them like that, and you don't like that, then make sure you've got a rubber, because you can rub these out. These Faber-Castells you can rub out. Or if you are really think about it as you get more and more sort of clever with your pencils, the first thing you do is put white on that, and then it stops it. So I hope you enjoyed that. I blooming loved that. I needed it so much today. So I'm hoping I will be doing one during the week. I'm doing a live as well on. I'm doing a live on Thursday with the Studio Light Creative Community at 2:30 in the afternoon, to launch my new one on their site, and I'll be launching it on mine, and then that'll be Thursday, and then Friday it's launched at 6 PM, the new range. So I hope you can join me. I hope you enjoyed that. If anybody would like to go to my Facebook page, there are other things on there, and you can see all my videos on my YouTube. And yeah, there's lots of things on there. Like my link tree will go to all my different things you can do, and obviously, you know, there's all sorts of things you can do on that page, like visit Pinterest, all the others and that. So if you want some more inspiration, then go there. And if you go to Linda on the Junk Journal site, will show you, she's put them all in order for you. So I'll be putting this on YouTube in a bit, and I will be linking it on my website as soon as I get a minute. So thanks for your time. So hopefully I'll see you, I'm hoping it's going to be Wednesday, for an hour working on my stuff. So if you want to join me Wednesday, I'll be working on my new release, and then I will see you. Oh, I'm seeing some great names here, guys, thank you. And I will see you on Thursday in the community live, the Dutch group, and then on Friday down at Create and Craft store, which I think's a better name, the Create and Craft store, because then you've got the craft store and the Create and Craft, because it's all one. Alright, so thanks for your time, hope you enjoyed it. If you can, go over and see our Liz. Yeah. Don't worry. Take care, everybody. Bye.